I'm not gonna lie, a black woman for president, that would be historic, legendary. But it's just not the right black woman or just woman at all, white or black. It's just not the right woman with the right views, just not with the right agenda. If you're picking just for a woman or just a skin color and just don't really care about the benefits of the American people, you shouldn't even be voting. Like, you cannot forget she was still a part of Biden's campaign. Make all these promises that they're gonna do and don't even complete shit within 4 years. 4 years. You know how much someone can do in 4 years? Especially with the position you have. You can do something in 4 years. Didn't even do nothing within the 4 years. Nothing important, nothing beneficial. America did not even get any better. Like, how long do we have to really sit here and pretend as if something really got better? Once they president, they get comfortable, barely do shit. And then they go so hard for an election. They go so hard, but they don't go hard when they are already elected. Rents going up, mortgage rates going up higher than ever. It was way lower in 2021 when Trump was president. Now it's higher than ever. People are selling off their homes because they can't afford the mortgage. A lot of people are defaulting on the loans as well. It's a lot of stuff going on in America at a high rate. It's not being talked about enough. Instead of giving migrants money to go relocate somewhere else, why don't just pour money into the American people to catch up, benefit, make rent somewhat go lower, anything, help people with the mortgage, give them a break for a year, instead of just billions to people who just wasn't born here, who's coming here illegally, and you're just giving them couches, beds, money, food stamps, all that shit. You're just giving them everything. Billions of dollars. Giving people money for if they change their hotel into a shelter. Them people eating off that money, that government money. Them people's like, sure, I turn my hotel into that. That's a guaranteed check. I ain't gotta wait for nobody to book us or anything. We don't gotta do no marketing, promo, nothing. Guaranteed money. I mean, who would have turned down those millions? But it only benefits a certain crowd. And just giving billions and making people work hard for their tax money, then you want to tax them way more than ever. Even way more, because you're just giving billions to Ukraine and other migrants and immigrants everywhere else, but not even the American people. And then when they do give you benefits, they make you get all these requirements just to get it. And then if you do the wrong thing, you fraudulently got it. $4,000 for migrants to relocate somewhere else? Trump would not even allow that. He did not even want that. $4,000 to relocate somewhere else? You know how many people want to relocate to another city just because their city, the rent going so high? No, they got to work for it. And they got to get taxed to death for it. You know how many people want to relocate somewhere else? But people who come here illegally or any migrants, they get it so easy. You get the red carpet, you get everything handed to you. You get to commit crimes and get away scot-free, and you get money. You get monthly payments sent to you. That's crazy. If America's not falling off, I don't know what is. Honestly, I feel like we're in hell. Something needs to change. And I'm not saying a bunch of promises either, because ain't shit happening. Giving money for trans, their surgery and boobs and everything. Like, it's just, I just feel like across the whole thing, it was just more so money for wars, Ukraine getting money, them stepping in for more them than their own people in America. And what they got to do for America is, hey, you get some free titties and some boobs if you want to change your trans, like if you want to go trans. That was it. That was it for the American people. That was it. All these promises now, why haven't you been did that? It's crazy.
Y'all, I want to bring to your attention some bizarre political warfare that's playing out in the Montana Senate race. What I'm about to explain to you, I believe, is the Democrats' plan to keep the Senate even if Trump wins the White House. My hope is that by giving this sunlight, people will get wise to what's going on here. I noticed this by chance, this post right here by short seller Mark Cohodes. In this post, he's calling for an investigation into Tim Sheehy and his company, Bridger Aerospace. You see, Mark typically is taken very seriously as a short seller. He has a long history of short selling on the stock market, and a lot of people listen to him when he's short selling. So naturally, I wondered why Mark was attacking this company, Bridger Aerospace, so hard. If you're wondering what Bridger Aerospace does, it's this. They put fires out. Seems like an odd company to be attacking. Bridger Aerospace is also one of the only public companies in Montana. But you see, that's not the problem with Bridger Aerospace. No, it seems the real problem is this guy, Tim Sheehy. He's running for Senate in Montana against Jon Tester, a Democrat. You may not have known a Democrat represents Montana in the United States Senate, but somehow that actually happened. But Tim is running against him, and right now he is leading in the polls. So the Democrats are desperate to keep Tester in that seat so they can maintain control in the Senate. Now keep in mind here, the guy they're attacking is not just a Republican Senate candidate. This man was a Navy SEAL with a Purple Heart. He is the type of guy we should be rewarding in this country for their service, but instead the Democrats are going after him full force. I guess they couldn't find anything on him personally, so instead, we're seeing what we're about to explain, an attack on a public company that employs a ton of veterans and people in Montana. So before Tim ran for the Senate, Bridger Aerospace received really nothing but positive press. But then Tim decided to run for a Senate seat that will likely decide whether the Democrats or Republicans get control of the United States Senate after this coming election. That's when you started to see stories like this. So like many of us are used to now in politics, we see somebody not get attacked before they run for office, and they're seen as nothing but successful, a war hero, and everybody likes the guy. Then he runs for office, and now suddenly the company needs to be investigated. So there's this letter that has been sent out to the federal government asking them to investigate Tim's company, a company that by financial metrics is doing better now than it was in the past. You might be wondering who wrote this letter and signed it. Well, that would be these people, and the list is filled with Democrat donors, like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, who's my personal favorite, and I had to point out, is a sex shop owner. Yes. So yeah, the dildo guy is asking the federal government to investigate the war heroes company, Bridger Aerospace. I'm sure that makes sense to everybody. As a result of all the bad press driven by stories that Democrats have put out there, now some mysterious person is shorting the stock of Bridger Aerospace, which means that Tim, as someone who has an interest in Bridger Aerospace having a higher stock price, may have less money now to put into the Montana Senate race. I wonder who that benefits. The Democrats. And remember that short seller's post that we started this all with? Well, it turns out he's such good friends with Elizabeth Warren that there's literally articles about it. By the way, that letter those donors sent, well, it implicated a county in Montana. That county has come out saying that the letter was politically motivated. And not only that, but we're talking about a company that is on track to double profitability this year. So doubling profitability, but stock price is going down. Is this making sense to everyone? Because it's making sense to me. It seems that the stock price going down has a lot more to do with the fact that this man is running for United States Senate and the Democrats couldn't find anything personally to attack him with. So instead, they're perfectly fine with trying to destroy a business started by veterans that employs veterans and saves lives with their business. That shouldn't rage everybody. There's some things that should maybe not be used as a cudgel to try to beat your political enemies with. Like, I don't know, businesses that save people from wildfires. But that's the reality we live in, and people deserve to know it, that the Democrats are that desperate that they are willing to try to tear down a company like this. And it should be disgusting to you. But that is the truth. Democrats are willing to do anything, tear anything down for power, and it is disgusting. So I have one ask for you. I want you guys all to support Tim Sheehy. Show your support online by sharing this video so that people in Montana understand what the Democrats are willing to do for power, because there is no way that Jon Tester should be in that Senate seat come this election. People like this willing to destroy veteran businesses for power belong nowhere near power. And that's the truth.
Responsible behaviors among everybody in the community, and just because you legally put a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affair.
Have you heard from...
I actually was the one who convinced the mayor to make it a mandate.
Like, New York City found out that you were having sex parties during COVID?
Yeah, it would have been a big deal. Yeah, it would have been real bad. We went to some like underground like dance party like underneath a bank in Wall Street. And we were all rolling, we were all taking Molly, and everybody's high. And I was so happy because I hadn't done that in like a year and a half, like a year or whatever. And but I was looking around being like, I wonder if he sees me, they're gonna do because this was not COVID friendly. The only way I could do this job for the city was if I had some way to blow off steam every now and then. You're kind of sneaky about it because hotels didn't want people gathering there. Because I was like running the entire COVID response for the city. My wife and I like had one with our friends, like in August of like that first summer. So we rented a hotel and it was fun. We all like took like, you know, Molly, and it was like 8 or 9 of us and then 8 to 10 of us in a room, and everybody had a blast because everybody was like so pent up because it had been like everybody was just like stuck together and stuff like that. And sometimes it isn't so much about like bigotry and sex. Sometimes it's just something about like bodies being close to each other, right? Just being like naked with friends.
Was that like when everything was locked down?
It was like the summer of 2020. So like walk around the streets and you could eat outdoors.
Did you have like any mandates in place?
There wasn't any restrictions on gathering, like you could technically gather people. The hotels didn't want us to have parties, but they weren't gonna like.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like because I did all this like deviant like sexual stuff while I was like, you know, like on TV and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And people are like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you embarrassed? And I was like, no, actually, I'm like really like I love being my authentic self.
So the way we do it in public health is we make it very uncomfortable to be unvaccinated. I don't expect the education to change your behavior. I'm just gonna make it really hard for you to do your job. You can't get a job. You can't go to a restaurant. Your kid can't go to school. It's like, I'm just gonna get vaccinated.
So was it technically like kind of forcing people?
Yeah, that's what you force people by making it really uncomfortable.
What you all are witnessing and seeing in real time is God's love and protection of Donald Trump. A second attempt was made on his life, and Donald Trump wasn't even touched. That's why I invest a lot of my time, my emotions, and my prayers into Donald Trump, because I know that God has prepared him to wake all of us up from the programming and brainwashing that was placed on us by the evil government to call evil good and good evil. We are not distracted anymore. We must stay focused on God's true plan for his people and keep all of our energy on Donald Trump. We cannot become distracted with sports or music entertainment or movies. Even some videos that we watch here on TikTok. If it's not feeding our soul, our spirit, and bringing evil to light, then we must ignore it. Stay focused, everybody. God loves you.